If you're in a relationship right now and you have any doubts, uncertainties, or an uneasiness in your spirit as to you are unsure if you should proceed in this relationship, please don't ignore it. I was in a relationship with a man for about 9 months, and I thought that he was everything I was looking for in a man. He was a Christian, he was active in the church. We wanted the same things out of life. We wanted marriage, we wanted children, all of those things. But within halfway through the relationship, I started to feel an uneasiness in my spirit. And I was just like, well, where did this come from? Why do I feel this way? So I started to pray about it, and asked the Lord for guidance and why I was feeling kind of disturbed and troubled within me. Um, and one day I was on Instagram just scrolling, and I noticed that he was liking girls' pictures, girls who were posting half naked pictures on Instagram. And I was just like, well, that's weird. Why is he doing that? So I confronted him about it and I said, hey, I see that you're doing this. Like, why? It makes me uncomfortable. I don't agree with you doing this. And he said, well, it's not a big deal. It's just some pictures. I was just scrolling along and I saw some pictures. And I told him, I was like, okay, well, I'm not okay with this. And I was just like, I don't think I can trust you unless you change. And he said, I don't want to lose you. He was just like, he's like, I will fix it. I'm sorry. So I forgave him and I said, okay. I'm just like, as long as you are taking the action on your part to change, I'm like, that is okay. We can continue with this relationship. Fast forward to about a month or two later, I scroll on Instagram again and I noticed once again he was liking these same pictures. And I confronted him once again and I said, why? Why are you doing this? We already talked about this before. You know it makes me feel uncomfortable. Why would you still do this when you know how it makes me feel? And he said once again, he was like, I just saw them. He's like, I just saw them. And he said that he accidentally liked the pictures. He was just like, I was just scrolling and I accidentally double tapped. And like, you accidentally double tapped 5 pictures. So he said, you know what? He's like, I screwed up. He was just like, please, please, please. He's like, let me fix it. He was just like, I'm done. I'm done for real this time. I will get rid of all of these accounts. He was just like, I will change. And at that point, I was just like, well, I don't even know if I can trust him. And at this point, the reason why I stayed was because he was a Christian. He claimed to be a Christian. And I just thought maybe this was just a rough patch. And I was just like, okay, if he's trying to change, it's just going to take some time for him to change. So as the weeks went by, that little voice in my spirit started to get louder and louder and louder and louder, to the point where it was just, I wasn't even sleeping at night. I was having trouble sleeping. And I said, Lord, I was just like, why am I feeling this way? And he made it abundantly clear. He said, do not proceed with this relationship. So I decided to end it with this man. And the funny thing is, the day that I ended it with him, that night, I had the best sleep that I had in 9 months. I had a peace that I didn't feel in 9 months, the entire time in this relationship. And the Lord, he gives us free will. He gives us free will to make the choices that we do in our life. But he gives the Holy Spirit to us. Like, once we become saved, we have the Holy Spirit to guide us, to be our guide in this life, to say, hey, like, to nudge us when maybe we're going down the wrong path or about to make the wrong decision. We have that guide within us. It's our decision if we choose to listen to him or not. And of course, the Lord gives us free will. But in this case, if I would not want to know what would have happened if I would have continued on, ignore his promptings for me to get out of that relationship. I don't know what would have happened, but I know that I would have been making a mistake. So my prayer is that if you are in a relationship and you feel this uneasiness, if you think the Lord is speaking to you to end this relationship, or if you know that the Lord is telling you to end it, please, 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 end the relationship. Peace and the love that we have from the Lord is worth so much more than a relationship on this earth.